What's up, y'all? Welcome to the State of Detroit R&B. My name is JEREL, and here I have Charity, Anesha, and Jahz. And what we're doing here today is talking about the rich cultural legacy of music in Detroit, from Motown to the Clark Sisters to the Winans and everything in between. People know about Motown, people know about all those iconic legendary artists like, Aretha Franklin. But what we want people to know is that the legacy hasn't been lost and that there are still people here carrying the torch, and there is so much more good music, good R&B to come. So welcome to the State of Detroit R&B. All right, so I've already told the people who you are, but I want each of you to take a second to introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about you. We can start with Charity.
Dang, I'm sitting next to you. I'm always gonna go first. Huh?
I'm gonna switch it up.
Okay, cool. I'm Charity. I'm a singer-songwriter. I play guitar. Born on the west side of Detroit. I've been writing and performing my own music since I was like 16, so damn near half my life. I would say I lead with vulnerability. I'm a highly emotional songwriter. I write for the girls. And it's been working out pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
I'm Anesha Birchett-Moody, mostly known as Anesha Birchett. I am a two-time Grammy-nominated songwriter and singer. I've been in the game for 20 years, solid. I've been able to provide for myself, struggle, and on the other side of that, for 20 years. I've written for everybody, a bunch of people.
Don't be modest now.
Beyonce, Sierra, her, hometown legend, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. She's one of my bucket list favorites.
Yeah.
Mary, the list goes on. I am a wife. I'm a mother to two beautiful children. That seems to be the most important thing to me right now. As we spoke about earlier, they have truly softened me up and inspired me on the music side. So, yeah, that's me. That's good.
Love it. All right, Jahz.
It's hard to follow up after both of them.
Oh, stop.
My name is Jahz. I'm 25. I'm an artist here from Michigan. I'm from Belleville, so I'm not from like actual Detroit, but I'm always surrounded and influenced by everybody in the city. I'm very tapped in and invested in everybody in Detroit. I love this city. It's traveling when you see other cities and like go to LA and Atlanta and you see all of them. It's kind of like it doesn't have the Detroit feel that we have. Everybody kind of has like an edge and a type of family.
Please.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay.
It's bleeding.
Okay.
Is it bleeding? Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
You gotta
Okay.
Yeah, we
all
good.
right. All right.
Yeah. But I'll keep going.
we like start over.
I know, right?
You don't have
No,
to
it's
start
cool.
over.
You want me to go from there or just?
Yeah, I think
I can
you
wrap it up.
Just go back a little bit to something that you already said, so we can pick it up in there. I'm gonna come back to that scene. He's done.
Detroit has like the type of edge and family atmosphere that we carry. But my name is Jahz. Like I was saying, I'm a artist. I do R&B, pop. I'm a singer and songwriter as well, and a musician. And I'm just grinding, building my fan base, and trying to just reach out into the city and bring as many people as I can with me on my journey.
Yeah. And Jahz is super dope, man. A
So
singer.
dope.
You understand?
Yeah.
I was watching some of your covers because actually Anesha introduced me to you, and I was like, "What is happening here?"
Oh,
He's
man.
insane.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, don't do
you know
that.
what? I need to introduce myself.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
man. My name is JEREL. I'm a singer-songwriter from the east side of Detroit, Michigan. You know what I mean? I'm here by myself holding it down for the east side. You know what I mean?
Tomato.
I am a singer who has done background vocals and session work and touring for artists like Beyonce, Kanye West, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Burna Boy, DeVito, Shinsia, a bunch of people. Outside of that, I'm an artist in my own right. And in addition to music, I work in television as a producer. I've worked on shows like The Voice. I've worked on Issa Rae's Sweet Life. I worked on shows like Twin Love and Basketball Wives. Yes, I just wrapped the newest season of Basketball Wives. So I'm out here hustling, man. I currently live in LA, but I'm always a Detroiter, flat out, no matter where I'm at.
Period.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, we got some drinks. I need My cousin Andy is here. He was coming just to observe, and I have put him to work. Can you give us some drinks, please? Ladies first. Ladies
Thank
first.
you.
Ladies first.
Shout out to Andy,
God
man.
help me.
No.
Now listen, don't judge me on the plastic cups. We was trying to get some real ones, but they don't judge me. Cheers,
East side of you is sponge. That's why.
Listen to Detroit R&B. To Detroit R&B. Cheers. Woo!
On the first sip. About.
All right. So here we go. We're gonna start with Jahz this time.
Okay.
So you said you're from Bellevue.
Belleville. Yeah.
Okay,
Shout out to
cool.
Belleville. We
Belleville.
sports. This is the sports area, man.
Listen, y'all are close. It's fine. So talk a little bit about how Detroit has influenced your sound and your journey in music.
Well, growing up, for me, I've been in church. So I've been surrounded, in church in Detroit, there's monsters.
Correct.
There's monsters. So they influenced my sound just from, because I started off as a musician and an engineer. Like, that's how I got into the game.
What do you play?
I play the drums, piano, and guitar as well. I'm more fluent in the drums, but, I can just pick up and play things. But I started with that in church and being surrounded by like Shelby Five, Kiera Sear, going and perfecting church with the whinings and stuff. It's just like, I actually was a horrible singer growing up. I was very, I was. I get it.
Me
Used
too.
to, the reason why I got solid enough to be able to sing on my songs is because my cousins, I'm related to the Shelby Five, they would laugh at me.
Gotcha.
Because, they sing, how it is, y'all growing up.
That made you tighten up.
Yeah. So they'd make me like I'm playing, and Jay Drew is my boy now. I used to grow up singing his songs. They would laugh at me because I would sound so bad like singing this stuff. But that's how they just shaped me into who I am today, and just seeing all the other artists, and like I've always aspired to be like on the highest level. So I would always be hard on myself, and being in a sports background is just the discipline to keep going and not to quit when somebody says no, or laugh at you because you hit a bad note, like, or whatever. Yeah. So that's how it got me, man. I just been surrounded by church, so it's a big influence. In Detroit, all the Detroit singers just molded me and shaped me to how I am today.
Love it. Yeah. What about you, Anesha?
Piggyback off of that, literally the same thing. I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us. Like, all we listened to was the Clarks, the Winans,
correct.
Dietrich Haddon, the Mint Condition. I mean, not Mint Condition. What am I talking about? Fred Hammond, Commission.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
put it down. Pull it down. Commission, and the list goes on and on. Like, I grew up with my dad doing like corporate weddings and stuff. That's how that's why I kind of do it on the side. Like, that's how he fed us. He was a salesman during the day and a corporate wedding singer at night. And so I would watch him rehearse, and he had a Motown review section in his show, and he had like props, all of that. He would have people in the audience with little feathers around their necks, be having them getting up, doing little Temptation stuff or whatever. So, I mean, the records was playing in the house because Daddy had it no other way. But I actually got to like go to his gigs and see like how Motown influenced him and how it still influenced his audience. And I just got to know it because I was a kid. I didn't know much about it. So with that and a mixture of J Moss, because that's all I studied. I wanted to be a girl J Moss. Like, nobody could take that away from me. Engineering on down, like writing on down, arranging. They called J Moss, Karen. Those are the main two that cultivated who I am as a singer. Really, that's all I really studied. To be completely honest with you.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna jump in here. The two people that you just named. So of course I'm from Detroit. I sang in BRL when Kiera first started BRL.
Wow.
And when she first started, we had to audition. And so the judges, to decide whether you was gonna get it or not, was Kiera, Karen, and J Moss. And I was like,
man,
what?
That's a lot.
That is so
crazy.
much.
That's a lot.
They had to sing, and then you had to harmonize with one of them. And then they asked like randomly like a Bible verse, and then you had to tell like what does it mean? And I'm like, I'm nervous.
Do you remember the verse that you gave him?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
That was
But I was prepared though.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
Yeah. So tell us yours, Charity.
So same. I'm a preacher's daughter. So grew up in church. My dad, I don't know how it happened, but eventually my two sisters and myself, we were singing he would go to the nursing home and preach after church, and we were like his little praise team there. So we started singing together there. I went to Winans Academy, so being that close to Pastor Marvin was crazy for me, and he would just kind of walk the halls and sing. I graduated in the same year that Drew did, so Karen Clark Sheard's son, Drew, so just kind of connected to just singers. JEREL was in 2103 with Pajam.
Shout out to JEREL.
Yeah, the other JEREL.
Yeah.
So
Me and him just did a session together in LA. Like the music for that artist should be coming out. You went to high school with?
Went to high school with him.
Shout out to JEREL,
Renaissance,
man.
right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
But then similar to Anesha, so my dad is older. He's 82 in August.
Oh,
So
that's
my
wild.
dad listened to the Temptations and Motown was like the music of his youth. So we came up listening to the Temptations because he was listening to the Temptations. So the Motown sound kind of was like the sound of our home. We weren't listening to a lot of modern music because our dad was pretty old when we were young. So Motown was just like the soundtrack.
How when's your dad's birthday? You said August.
August 14th.
He's a Leo.
He's a Leo.
Shout out to the Leos.
I love a Leo. You're a Leo too.
I'm a Leo. I'm a
Yes.
Leo.
Yes.
Angela's a Leo. Shout out to Angela Birchett out here killing it. Speaking of the Clark sisters and coming full
Wow,
circle,
that's crazy.
Angela played Jackie in the Clark
She
sisters
did.
movie.
That's
She
so
did.
iconic.
It is so crazy. It's crazy how it all happened, and I love that for her.
Yeah.
I really do. I really
Fire.
do.
So I want to take a detour to tell y'all about how I met Anesha.
Oh,
When I graduated from college,
tell my age.
2012, I came back and there was this institution called the Detroit Institution of Music Education, DIME. And they did like a songwriting camp. And at the helm was A+, which was Anesha and her sister Antea, you know what I mean? And I got to come in and learn from them and glean from them. And these are people who are industry professionals, have worked at the highest levels that were right here in the city and accessible and making themselves accessible and teaching what they know. Shout out to Antea. And I can't tell you how much I gleaned from that, just even having access.
Yeah.
And then meeting y'all and seeing like, okay, if they can work at the highest levels and be cool, then don't nobody else got no excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know.
And I remember how you carried yourself in those master classes. And I know I remember me and Taya would spend a little bit of special attention on you because you just was like, wanted to be a sponge. No, look at you. Look at you. It pays doing it.
Thank you. So tell me, Anesha, how I want you to talk about this too. How being from Detroit either prepared you or didn't prepare you for the industry.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, fundamentally, as a vocalist, I knew I would be in good hands here because you have everything you need here. But because I grew up in a musical family, the work ethic and that want to get outside of what was known here in the city was hard. Like I really wanted to get up out of here and find out what was going on so I could bring it back and stay here and silently, help others. So tell me the question again.
How did the city prepare you or how did it not prepare you for the industry?
Yeah, so it prepared me to work hard because during the era that I was working in songwriting, there wasn't a lot of resources or people for me to even go and kick it with and find out what do I do, how do I do. I ain't had no master classes to go to. There wasn't no pop-up schools and things of that nature. I got a job at Delta and I threw bags in a plane so that I could fund going all over the world to get into these writing sessions when people were telling me no. So Detroit teaches you how to work hard. It gives you the grit that you need to make it anywhere. They say that about New York, but I truly feel that way about Detroit because there's a lack of resources here and it's starting to grow. Big brands, like I told you earlier, are setting up shop here and wanting to delve into the artistic and music scene. But like you learn what it really is and what it ain't here. And you either sink or swim when it comes to coming from Detroit. You can either be a crab in the barrel or you can be a leader and figure out how to get out of that barrel, go out, find out what it really is and come back and teach the people that's still in the barrel.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you, Charity?
I would say I had a really specific, beautiful experience with live performances in Detroit. So I started working with Drake from Urban Organic when I was maybe like 19, 20. And Drake would just have me open for every artist that he brought in town. So
Yeah, you was doing the openers at the big spots in the city too.
And I started sitting on the guitar. Sitting on a stool playing guitar, like sitting down playing. I would never do that now. But I had this opportunity to develop as a live performer. So I opened for Kindred the Family Soul and Layla Hathaway and Eric Roberson and Eric Benet. And these are all stages that Drake is putting me on. And one thing I have to say about Detroit audiences, they have shown me so much love and given me an opportunity to really blossom as a performer. That now when I'm performing and I'm headlining, I feel fully comfortable and confident. Even when I'm not headlining, of course you feel comfortable when you headline. Everybody came for you. But when I'm like out of state playing a festival and I might be the first person opening, Detroit just prepared me to be a world-class performer. And I'm also grateful that I've had so much time to develop. I always feel bad for artists when like they get a song and it catches and they haven't had any time to develop. Detroit has just given me it's grown me up in a really beautiful way.
And listen, Detroit will sit on you.
Listen,
you got to come.
That's
with
what I was
something.
talking about.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fully polished. But if you don't have something, they will.
Detroiters know, like even if you can do acrobats with your voice, people are not easily moved here. People want to feel you because that's just what it is here. So yeah. Detroit, they'll have you in good hands. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I'm grateful for that too. You talked about development. I think that's one thing the music industry doesn't have a lot of is development. But to be able to be here, cutting my chops, performing at different places, doing a set at Floods, going down to Baker's, going and doing a Dally in the Alley or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just these things that are staples in the city, doing the Ribs and Soul Fest at Mount Plaza.
You got to do the Ribs and Soul
You got
Fest.
to, you know what I mean? Like, so being able to work my way up from coming, because before I left for high school, I did nothing but gospel. It was church and that was it. But when I came back from college and being able to be out and, you know what I mean, figure it out and figure out the scene and figure out some of the people that were working and doing the same things that I wanted to do, being able to start at the bottom. You know what I mean? Start by going to They Say on Thursday nights with Katrina Storm and then and J Bell and Peace. You know what I mean? Being able to do stuff like that and work my way up to a stage like a Ribs and Soul. You know what I mean? It's so much value in that because now I can go on any stage and I know like I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like I got
exactly.
it.
And I gotta shout out the church again. Greater Grace Temple was where I went for 22 years of my life. And it's, of course, a mega ministry. And I was petrified. I still deal with anxiety to this day. But that church, which was full of Detroit people, got me together every Sunday morning, whether it was praise worship or on praise team, you get sat on or not. So shout out to the churches.
And I gotta also shout out. We talked about the Clarks. I gotta also shout out Kiera because, and I'll talk about this as much as I can.
Killing it.
First of all, her tiny desk was insane.
Stupid.
And shout out to all of the homies that sang behind her.
Jay Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks, Jahz, Kevin Stewart. You know,
Mark J.
Mark.
Snoop was on bass.
Love Snoop.
was on bass.
Yeah, he's skinny now. He's skinny. In the gym.
Shout out to Snoop. I remember being like, because Kiera isn't much older than me, but she was already signed, touring, doing her shit. I mean, I shouldn't say shit.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No
She was already doing her shit, you know. And I remember her taking us into the studio to record and her expecting us to operate on her level. You know what I mean? That's the expectation, you know. And I remember it was one part she wanted me to do by myself because I had a lower voice, you know. And I was just not getting it. And she was so frustrated. She's like, that is not it. So I was like, sing it. And then she sang it. And I said, that's not what I'm doing. She said, just come out.
That's not what I'm doing. That be the most defeating sessions. That's not what I did.
That's not I'm not hearing the difference. But from that into her taking us out of the city, out of the state to sing, you know what I mean? She didn't have to give us that opportunity. And I'm so grateful that those opportunities came from people that are from where I'm from. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't get that. And so I just had to say that because I'm super, super grateful for that. And with me saying that, I want to know some of the singers that have influenced y'all on y'all come up in the city, specifically Detroiters.
Okay, I'm gonna go first. So I already mentioned them earlier, but I'm gonna just run it down. Karen is number 1 for me. Anita Baker is number 2 for me. Aretha Franklin is number 3. Stevie Wonder. And who was my 5th person? J Moss.
That's your top 5.
Those are my top 5 singers.
All right. So top 5. Jazz, what's your top 5?
It's
Detroit
so hard
singers.
to put 5 in there, but my number 1, off of just how I cling to her, is Kira. She can do everything. She can do everything. For me, Dietrich. Dietrich is in there, and I Stevie is always going to be in there. He's like, you can put him at 1, you can put him anywhere in there, but because he's just influenced the sounds of all type of music, not just R&B, but anything, because everybody copies out of them. I gotta go with Karen. Mama Karen. And the 5th one, we gotta go Anita. Gotta go.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
they shape you. They shape you if you do R&B. Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
5.
All right.
Give me 5.
So I'm a songwriter, and I have had to learn to not get caught up in acrobatics because I can't really do them that well. I got my runs, but my favorite singers are not singers.
Yeah.
They are people who convey an emotion through the lyric, particularly if they wrote it. So like Smokey Robinson is my holy grail. I think he has an ability to communicate an extremely complex emotion with barely any words. It's no fat songwriting. Like there's no extra. It's so precise, and I'm always trying to write on that level. Stevie Wonder, of course. It just goes without explanation. We know why. David Ruffin is up there for me if we're talking about singers, just like voices. There's a documentary called dang it, it's about a festival that they threw in New York.
Oh, Summer of Soul.
Summer of Soul.
Yes.
Thank you. His performance of My Girl solo by himself, I said, oh, he's up there. Top 5 on this.
Correct.
It's Dorinda for me.
Come on.
It's Dorinda
it's a
for
battle
me.
there.
She has a textured voice, a slight rasp
Yeah.
that I can identify with. I got some rasp too. I just think she is just her performance style is so physical and so much
Gritty.
command. I like that. I can pull from that.
Yeah.
And then Marvin Gaye is not from Detroit, is he?
He's from DC.
He's from DC. Okay, but I'm gonna throw him in there just because of Motown.
He lived here. He lived here for
He lived here
right
for
on
some
the drive.
I
Very
feel
long
like
time.
he like
Over 10 years, so I think
the Lions.
He did.
Like he was a Detroiter. What he did when he really decided that he was going to create in his own sound and write about what was vexing him in the world, we can all learn from as writers. So yeah, I say but Pastor Marvin Wine.
Period.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Pastor Marvin. I'll take Marvin Gaye, since he's not actually a Detroiter, and say Pastor Marvin Wine to me has the best textured voice, the best tone, period.
Yeah.
It's like between him and Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't say Aretha. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Listen, young Aretha.
People don't even, and you know what? People don't even understand how cold she went. Has people seen her make a piano dance?
Yeah,
No.
She makes a piano dance, honey.
Unreal.
Aretha's
Like-
playing ability is severely underrated. We know she can sing,
And
but
Because she can sing so
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, her the Amazing Grace documentary / album. I was like, oh, okay. This is a person with a superhuman ability to make music, not just through her vocal cords, but she is playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The fact that you can be so good, you could be a savant as a pianist, but your voice is so good that people forget or overlook it. You know what I mean?
And she's not
Literally.
even known for that.
Yeah.
Not even
could've been.
known. She's not even known. She could have not opened her mouth, and she would have still been able to have a career as a pianist.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. I gotta get mine. Don't get me going down an Aretha tunnel. Aretha, frankly, is my dad's favorite.
Clearly.
Listen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let me move this mic.
One time for the shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Old Navy.
Love it.
Oh, Navy.
They
Come on,
always had
TT,
the
come on. All right, my top 5. First has to be Stevie Wonder, bar none.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Number 2, can I say the Clark sisters? Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
it's because
Yeah.
Twinkie, what are you
Yeah.
crazy?
that's another one.
Yeah.
that
Crazy.
Make a
You making songs
organ
like
dance.
that?
Are you
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah.
And writing song. First of all, this is so off track, but she wrote a song called "Can't Get Enough of Your Love," which is the sexiest gospel song you ever want to hear in your life. Like, I love some sexy gospel.
Yes. J Moss was another one to do that.
J Moss used some sexy
His air, his breath, his song.
So I'm gonna say Stevie, the Clark sisters. Definitely gotta have Anita. Yeah.
Yes.
My 4 and 5. Woo. I know this is controversial. But I'm gonna say Kim. I'm gonna go with Kim.
Kim who? Oh, the safe.
Kim, K-E-M.
K-E-M.
The reason I'm saying him is because Kim came at a time when there wasn't much else coming out of Detroit.
That's true.
And his story is crazy.
And his story is incredible, and he's also a kind person.
He is.
And also, for me, I think my journey, a big part of my journey has been learning that everybody doesn't have to like what you do or appreciate what you do. My job as an artist is to find the people who do.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he did. He came with his songs that he wrote. It was strong. It was in his lane. He ain't tried to be nobody else. And he has a career because of it. You know what I mean? So I got to put Kim on there. I know that's unconventional.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good reason. So,
Yeah. And then I'm going to go with TT, Anita Baker. You know what I mean? I know people say about Anita Baker.
now hold on. I thought you said you ain't saying Anita Baker.
I ain't say Anita Baker.
I think you said Aretha.
Stevie,
Aretha,
Clark
Clark
sisters,
Aretha.
Kim. I didn't say Aretha. Kim.
Yeah.
You didn't say
I didn't say
You
Aretha.
said Anita twice. So
Yeah,
you
you
got
You did say Anita twice.
Okay, so this is
got
it's
some
Aretha.
more.
It's Aretha.
Okay.
Because I didn't like how they was jumping on Anita when they was talking about the Babyface thing. I'm like, listen, this is Anita's concert.
Right.
So if she don't want an opener, I know you Babyface
Nice.
brother, but you accepted the
Anita
role as
Baker.
the opener.
She be a little mean.
She do. I was at the Nashville airport
Oh.
one time.
No,
Getting ready to get on the plane.
See, here we go. Tell
And
us.
she had on a tracksuit on the phone, cussing whoever she was on that phone. It didn't matter. I thought security was gonna come. She didn't care. I saw her at the Fox. Tell somebody get out of my face. I'm not taking no picture with you.
Yeah.
She's a
She
Detroit
said
girl.
ain't she?
I just don't subscribe to that.
She was born in Toledo, but was raised. She like very early on moved.
Just
When
like
she was a
Stevie.
toddler. Yeah,
Grew up in
exactly.
Saginaw.
Yep. He came to Detroit when he was like 6 or
Little
7.
baby.
Yeah, or something. So we still can.
But
say
we
he's a
love
Detroit.
Anita.
Yeah,
We love
yeah.
Anita.
Yeah.
I can
I
say.
understand.
Listen, I'm gonna say, Anita Baker has been kind to me when I saw her. One time I saw her in Grosse Pointe at the Village, come out of Cold Stone, and she was so sweet and just nice and
Oh,
kind.
this is the first
Nice.
And that's why we need to say this. And that's why we need to say it.
Now, you see this and cuss me out.
All right.
But I'm saying, but haven't heard nice things like
Me
your.
neither. Me neither.
She's
And I
super nice.
witnessed it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Anita Baker.
We
God
love-
bless
we
you.
love you.
We
We
love
love
you. We love
you.
you.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about some other singers, who may not be in the top 5, but were very, very impactful on us. I'm gonna start this one. One, I gotta say, her name is La Jamise.
Yeah.
La
She
Jamise.
used to sing behind Dorinda.
Yes.
And she was in a group.
SMC. Yep. She was singing with the Singers and Musicians
Special
conference.
guest, was
I don't know.
No,
but,
but I
she
know
used
who
to
you're talking
sing.
about.
She used to sing a song that Ernest Lee wrote called
Yes.
"After the Storm."
Yes.
And I cannot. Listen, I'm from here, baby.
Though.
I was young because my brother Larry, my older brother, sang with Dorinda,
Right,
and Singers
Larry.
and Musicians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish I could find a record. If anybody has a recording, a video of La Jamise singing "After the Storm," please send it to me.
Probably on YouTube.
Yeah, it probably is.
I gotta
on
look
YouTube.
for it because when I tell you she used to
Down,
murder
sing
that
down.
song, so I gotta say La Jamise. I also want to give a special shout out to El Renee.
Yes.
Yeah,
Lord.
Renee sang
Lord,
down.
Love her.
I mean,
Love her.
putting out records, touring, like just doing her shit was so inspiring for me. But she gave me the opportunity to sing background for her.
Yep.
And
She
just
sang behind Kim.
she sang behind Kim, so like I'm super grateful for her and her music. I was listening to one of her records not too long ago. What was it? I feel in you, you can ride a cue, I can see myself going on with you.
Yeah.
All right. So other than that, I'm trying to think of some other people. Y'all got any people?
Local here.
Detroiters.
I would have to say the Wine is Phase 2.
Yes.
Phase two.
moment.
Yes.
And it was a
Yeah,
moment.
It was fangirling and all.
But man, it was a moment. Like, to me, that album was spectacular.
Yeah.
It was well done. And me and my sisters were like following them around. Like, if they had like a celebrity basketball game, we would like go.
Yeah.
We were following them around.
Same.
Like,
Certain celebrities, for sure.
There was a
Same.
pandemonium around Wine is Phase 2, but the songs, like, they matched.
And it's crazy because my first real music industry experience was with Mike Winans Jr.
Really?
He had his production company and all of that stuff. Like, he's the one who gave me my first like real glimpse of the mainstream side of things.
Wow.
Now, I don't talk about his affiliation and things, but
Yeah.
I did get to see some stuff, and it awakened that fire. So the Winans family, they just mean so much to the city of Detroit, to all of us.
Yeah.
Truly.
I have to say too, I've been privileged to work with Vincent Berry.
Vince.
Yeah.
He's out in LA
like,
too.
He doesn't commit all the way to being an artist, but he could, like, 100%. His like songwriting for me has been not only influential, but I'm always honored to be able to collaborate with somebody with a pen like that. This is also a Grammy-winning writer.
Correct.
Like, has worked with Beyonce.
Sandcastle.
Just being himself. So
Yeah.
I thought him in
Dope,
too.
dope.
This is a beast, man.
Yeah, Vince.
Dope.
And Vince is another one who, every time I see him, like Vince and I both live in LA. I think he still lives in LA.
He's there.
Every time I see him, it's never weird. It's never no like.
Just good people.
Yeah, you know, and that like, I have that's less of a problem with Detroit people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's somebody who's always consistent in every room, and I always appreciate that. You ain't gonna act different based on who's around, you know what I mean?
Dope.
You know who I gotta say too? Monica Blair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blair.
I would watch her like when I was performing on these opening
Performance.
slots, but I was still
Submitting.
sitting down on my stool.
Yeah.
She was such a physical, like she was
Whole
interpreting the
body.
lyric with her whole body. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah,
I learned a
definitely,
lot from her.
Yeah. Shout out
Yeah.
to Darnell Kendricks.
Yes, the Waffle Man.
Yeah. Phoenix too. Phoenix. I love LaShawn. It's so many people.
Yeah.
LJ, Lavotis, LJ.
Oh, LG.
LG.
Oh man, LG.
He be singing.
Listen.
He be singing. Is he still here?
Yes,
Okay,
LG.
okay,
So when I first got back home from college and I first started coming on the scene, this was the Thursday night move. You go to They Say for the open mic
Yes.
with Katrina Storm, and then after that you go to Floods.
Right.
And so at Floods it would be 313, 313, and LG would be singing, and then only if you were good
Right.
they would call you up to sing a song.
Right. Especially if he's singing, because
Yes, LG is
he's a beast, the dog.
Man, he is incredible.
It's a
Shout out
lot
to
of
LG.
talent
That's a
here in
good
the
one.
city.
That was a good one.
It's
I
a
didn't
lot of
think about
talent
that.
here.
Yeah. And also, I gotta say, I didn't mention her. You mentioned her, but shout out to Kiera too.
Yes.
Yeah. Once again.
Yes.
Once again.
Absolutely.
You know who also is under the spotlight, but Tasha Lockhart. She
Yeah.
did her thing
Yeah.
too. She's nice, man.
She's a
She
beast.
do her thing for sure.
Tasha is a beast.
She is a beast.
I really like the Shelby 5, the recent album too.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
listening
I
to
gotta listen to it. I
Yeah.
gotta listen to it.
I was at the live
I've heard it's good.
recording, and so like listening to it and really understanding the arrangements and how much taste
Yes.
the people involved had to make the decisions they make.
yeah.
Very it's
Shout
a
out
great
to
album.
D-Lo, and 'cause
D-Lo
I was
went crazy.
Yeah, I was involved in the whole like process because I'm an engineer and stuff. I helped record them. It was long hours put into this album.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was great. It was every moment I would do it over again with them because the minds, especially Don and Trent, like they
Trent's-
the pillars. Of
he's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Andrea holding it down, Amber, Courtney, they did their thing. But
Mm-hmm.
D-Lo definitely got to give a praise to D-Lo.
D-Lo's
'cause
incredible.
Yeah.
He
Incredible
went
producer.
crazy.
Yeah.
I've never met him. I gotta meet him.
Yeah. He,
So,
is
all-
D-Lo? Oh no, D-Lo from Florida.
Yeah, he's
from
not
Florida.
here.
All of y'all can engineer for yourself, right?
Yes.
For the very most part.
Yeah. So how is that like? Is that something you would encourage other artists?
Absolutely.
have to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be broke,
Yeah.
You have to.
you have to be more than a one-trick pony, especially if you're somebody that has like social issues and want to be an artist or want to like you gotta hone your relationships and you gotta be self-sufficient. You're gonna be broke.
and do
Yeah.
some pre-production at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as far as I can
Practice.
go. I ain't gonna lie. I do need to practice more on my engineering, but I can like get the idea out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll never let
If you
anybody
can at
hear
least
it.
do that.
Yeah. If you can
I'm
record.
vocals and everything. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Really?
It is
I do love a good comp
And I mean,
vocal.
who doesn't want to be in control of their stuff?
Yeah.
You want to create your own sound, your own stuff. It's better
Yeah.
to just learn how to do it so you can do it your way.
Yes, learn how to engineer yourself. I'm talking to myself in the camera. But if it applies to you, then you know it applies to you.
Yeah.
All right,
You
so-
can record yourself. Yeah, that's all you need.
And you a dog. He a
Yeah,
dog. at it.
yeah.
Woo.
I mean, most people engineering, you can send your stuff out. If the longest part is recording, that's where
Yep.
most of the money gonna come from.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Jazz, I need you to send me a vocal chain, dog.
I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I can do that.
Though, too. Like, if it's just dry, you be like, this sound.
Can I get that?
I need a good vocal chain. All right. So we talked about some of the people that inspired us. So I want to also give some time to some artists that are coming up that deserve some attention, that people should be paying attention to. So,
well, as the elder sitting here, I just want to shout all 3 of you out.
Oh, man, thank you.
Because I just feel like Detroit is in really good hands. I'm so happy to see the millennials. Well, you're not really a millennial, but I don't think you are either.
I am.
You're a very young one. But just watching all of you all evolve, I had the opportunity to write a record for him. We were doing something with Verse and Hook a long time ago, and it was an honor to like write for him. I ain't know nothing about jazz for real outside of just affiliation with other friends and stuff. But
Stop.
found out, man.
I got a chance to write a record for Anesha. It was called Original. Came out on Frank Simmons' album.
Really?
That's so crazy.
And I was just like,
and I didn't
look at
even
my
know you
cheeks.
had wrote it. I didn't know you had wrote it until like a year later. I had no idea.
crazy. Like just hearing Anesha.
That's my joint.
Knowing who
Sing your
Anesha
word.
is and growing up in the city and recognizing who she is and being
That's
able
special.
to write a record for
That's
the
crazy.
writer, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like,
Writing for the writer is crazy.
Yeah.
Because she said, yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
With that, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
and
man.
it was a smash too. It did very well overseas.
it did.
Hey.
It did. It did.
So, kudos to you. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who you got? You got anybody in mind?
I would say Caleb Shoemake is
Yeah,
one of my,
that was one of mine.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Caleb.
Caleb's
Yeah.
cold.
It's one of my next ups. He has a beautiful voice. He has taste. Taste is such a big part of like what I like. He has taste. And I just think he has such a bright future.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say Alex Courtney too. We know him as Buddy.
Yeah.
His artist name is Alex Courtney. Every time I go up to Stereo House, he is in there writing.
Yeah, that kid
Every
is serious.
single time I go up there to record, he's writing. Him and Slate are doing some work on some young new artists as well, Natasia. But I think that he in himself, he is an artist that
Yeah.
is gonna catch for him too.
Yeah, shout out to Buddy. He's another musician who, even at a super young age, was out touring. I remember he did that tour with Jeezy, and that was like a big deal in the
Yeah.
community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That somebody so young, you know what I mean, is touring on the road playing drums, and he did an album with my boy Frank too. So like, shout out to Buddy, man.
Yeah.
He's doing great work. Alex Courtney, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Buddy,
Courtney.
Alex
Alex
Courtney.
Courtney.
It's made us smile.
Yeah.
And speaking of Courtney Bell is another one that I love.
yeah.
He's a
Courtney
rapper,
Bell.
Courtney Bell.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity to do some work with him. That dude is he's different.
Yeah.
That pen is different. It's fast. The things that goes on in his mind, like when it comes to the hip hop scene, we have quite the scene here, but I love how he's taking things to another level as an artist, really tapping in as a lyricist. Like he's cold. So Courtney Bell for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. I had somebody out because I knew
Asia Pearson.
Shout out to
I
Asia.
love her. Yes.
y'all gotta put me on. I don't know.
Asia Pearson. That's Eric Bellinger's artist.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
Yeah.
She's friends with Jody. I won't say her
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
Jody.
Yeah.
She's friends with Jody, so that's how I know her.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
I do know her.
cold. Her and I get ready to do some work together.
Yeah.
I'm excited about her.
Yeah.
Do y'all know who Caleb Carson is? So
no.
Caleb is he sings.
Word.
So he be outside of the Aretha sometimes when people are going in, like just singing. Y'all have to look him up.
Yeah,
Caleb
totally.
Carson, Caleb with the K.
Okay.
Sings. I'm not sure if he's from here or not, but I last year I was here. I came for the Beyonce concert, and I also went to see who was it? Was it Eric Benet and Tamia?
That just happened in the end of last year?
Yeah, and he was out. That's how I heard of him.
Okay.
I was like, no, I gotta follow you. Like you are crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So
Caleb is his name.
Yep,
Okay.
Caleb
Carson.
Carson, KC, Caleb
Got
Carson.
you, got you.
Also, shout out to Jody,
Yeah.
little sis,
Sing.
incredible
She sings
singer,
down.
Incredible voice.
Yeah.
incredible voice.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
Yeah,
but
me
it's gonna come
too.
to me. It's gonna come to me. I'm definitely forgetting somebody. And shout out to the people I came up with, like Zania Alakay,
Yeah.
who's always been around.
That's my cousin.
Is it really?
Yes.
Ashley Moss. Ashley Moss is another one
Yes.
that was
Absolutely.
that is singing somebody. So many people. Yes.
I'm so glad that we're taking the time to highlight, Detroit artists like that. Like that's super dope because it's so much talent here. So much talent.
Yeah.
For real.
I got a couple. I mean, Asaka the Renegade. Y'all know who that is?
Yes,
He's
yes.
hip hop, but he one of the people who can dab in between other things. But that's my brother, and my other brother, Mikael Miller. He is a phenomenal producer. You guys gotta he can produce anything, bro, and he's an artist as well.
Yeah.
But he's nice. He's real nice. And then obviously Jody. These are all people like everybody we naming. We all in the same circle. I got songs with them. So check us all out. Support us.
Please.
Run the streams. It's the same. Everybody getting the same numbers.
So you just mentioned producers. Who are some of y'all favorite producers from the city?
Jupiter.
My Jew, dog. Shout out to Jew, my boy.
Jupiter. That's a bad boy. That's a bad boy. Yes.
I am pretty devoted to Justin Allen Brooks as a producer.
Yeah,
Jay
Brooks.
Brooks.
He's
is
cold.
Brooks.
He's cold.
When I started
He's
working with
cold.
Brooks, things just started to just click and unlock for me. We are definitely a part of one another's soul family when it comes to
I love
like
that.
taste and the decisions that we choose to make. If I got a song that's 80% written, he gonna finish it. I can bring him all my fragmented ideas. He gonna turn them into songs. That's my number one.
He's collaborated a lot with Kier. There was this one song
Yeah.
that he wrote that was just like an incredible. Like, how did you think of this? What is the song?
Kill the Dragon?
Kill the Dragon.
Yeah, man.
That-
It's mine.
What? Are you
mine.
crazy?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
And then you gotta throw Jay Drew in there too, because
Yeah.
if you're talking about innovators, he had such a very specific sound, and it
Yes.
felt like nothing I had ever heard
Yeah.
and
before.
still sticks with the
Sticks
sound.
with
Love
it.
it. Love
he has
it.
an understanding of like melody.
Yes.
that is like, oh, that's a choice we can actually make, and it's still within the key. Drew is
As he
different.
should.
Yeah, he should. He should.
Yeah.
He should.
He
Yeah.
had an EP that was incredible. I can't,
Yes. Yes.
what
yes.
was the name? I can't remember the name.
Started
It
with
was
an
the car
N.
on it.
It started with an N. It was a part
wonder
2.
If you ever did flowers in warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the name of that?
I can't remember the name of it.
Jay
but-
Drew need to tap back in and
Yeah.
get back out here
Yes.
singing for real. He's
Yeah.
he's cold.
Yeah.
Come on, Drew.
All right,
What you
so
doing?
let's tell me what y'all think the Detroit community can do to help further R&B and to help grow the R&B scene here in the city.
I could say hip hop is so big here. We could give the same energy that we do to R&B and give the same opportunities, because when they have festivals and they're bringing people in, is Big Sean coming in, right? And or whoever, and they might not even be from Detroit, but like Coi Leray and Janae Aiko is coming down here to do a concert tomorrow or tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
And R&B should be singing to open that up instead of a hip hop artist going on, and we could put each other in the spotlight there for like the blog pages, because the blog pages, they're gonna post Shout It Baby, and they should. The rappers are talented as well too, but I feel like that would help us, just putting people, because social media runs everything. Just put the R&B people on the bigger platforms, give them a chance, because everybody, our music can resonate with everyone,
And it'll also be nice to see more of the hip hop community and the R&B community coming together
Yeah.
to work with records. You ask us to sing these hooks
Yeah.
and whatnot. If you're attached to a radio station, or if you're attached to the guy who is cool with the PDs, help us move these records. Because that's why a lot of these hip hop artists here are getting it going, because they're connected. They're friends with the hottest DJs here in the city, and these DJs are able to run these records into the PDs and what have you. So if there was more of a collaborative effort with hip hop and R&B, I feel like, we could do some damage together. And as R&B singers, do more of coming together and forcing it. Like, let's create content together. It ain't always about a check. If we all dope, back end's going to be dope. Come together, create content, make it known that we all are riding for each other, even if we are in our own respective cliques or teams or whatever. We ride for each other. We love on each other. We get together and we create content. Put it out on IG. Put it out on TikTok and let people know that we work together. We go to their shows. We cheer for them. If we do more of that, I think the psyche of it's mine, and somebody put me on and I'm going to hold on to it and keep it to myself, we got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because, I hate when I hear people say Detroit is back. We never left. It's always been popping here, but eyes are on us. Big brands are on us. So it's up to us as artists and those who have been doing it for a long time. Get out yourself. And help, really help. It ain't about the money all the time. If you want the brands and the labels and things of what's left of labels to come here and give us an opportunity, we got to come together and we have to do it consistently. We can't just have a unity choir, or we can't just have a moment here and there. We got to do stuff together.
A unity choir is hilarious.
I'm not throwing shade, but I'm just saying we can't. We have to, you know, come together for real, let egos and pride aside, and do it for real, because we all are doing it. I've sat knee to knee with Beyonce. She told me I had aliens in my throat. I'm pop my shit when it comes to that. Like she told me I was good, and I mean, ain't nobody better than Beyonce.
Yeah.
And so if she told me I was good, then it's a reason for me to come back here and share what she said I was good at to those who want to do what we are doing. So that's my bit.
Well, since you said that, I also want to say very, very randomly, there's a show that I used to host in LA called The Live Playlist, and Brandy came one time, and I was singing. And she walked up to me after, and she touched my throat. She said, "You have a beautiful voice." And then she whisked away.
Boy, I would have fell on the floor.
It was so gentle.
Oh, man.
I would have fell on the floor.
Period. Is that one of your favorite singers?
That is absolutely.
Yeah. I know we talked about Detroit singers, but
no.
You know how I feel about her.
I almost let this pass. Do y'all know that Anesha worked on Full Moon?
I do know.
I did not work on Full Moon. I worked on Full Moon 2, but it never came out.
Full Moon 2?
Yes, there was a Full Moon 2. Sorry.
Shout out to LaShawn.
Rodney.
Shout out to LaShawn.
Yes, God rest his soul. It's my buddy. But yes, it was a Full Moon 2.
What?
And we were working on it very hard. He's passing you a beverage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and it you know, some things happened between, you know, her and Rodney, and it never came to be. But I'm sitting on records in my phone that
I need to come on over to the house.
Yeah.
Come to the basement and let me play you some things. But Brandy is it for me.
So I'm sorry. I need to know a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more about your relationship with LaShawn and some of the records you worked on, how you got in with him.
Please, I don't want to cry today, okay?
Don't cry. Okay, don't cry. Don't cry.
I'll tell you a little bit. LaShawn is everything to me. He is the reason why I have money in my pockets. When Rodney was off being Rodney and great, you know, LaShawn was at the studio making sure we had food in our bellies, making sure that the sessions was running. He would put me and Taya in charge to run vocal stuff or run sessions. Like I was 19, 20 vocal producing Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Like that stuff was scary. But LaShawn, and shout out to Uncle Fred Jerkins too. Mm-hmm. They really like hugged us and held on to us and cultivated us. And LaShawn, he literally taught me everything I know: vocal production, how to write, how to show up. Because I never considered myself to be this huge, great lyricist, but I know my melodies are top tier. Mm-hmm. And I needed guidance, and Shiz guided me from day one till he left this planet. He's one of my closest friends, God rest his soul. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember I was singing background for El Renee, and there was a song that I think you demoed that El
Don't
Say Goodbye.
Yes.
And I remember somebody called him, and I remember thinking like on FaceTime, and he was listening to us sing. It was like, is that LaShawn Daniels on the phone right now? Like, what is happening? Where am I right now? You know what I mean? And he gave us some notes, you know what I mean? Tightened us up where we need to be tightened up and stuff. So that's like the only interaction I have, you know what I mean? But
yeah, he was quite the individual. I mean, funny. I ain't never seen nobody write like that in my life. He would take his BlackBerry, turn the track on, go in the studio, and the track come on, and he'll just be, and then later, if I have one wish, this would be better. And I would just be like, what just happened? Like, I have to go in a dark room and be like, Jesus, give me the lyrics, Lord. So yeah, I've been amongst some great people for real, and he was definitely one of them.
And you are one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, God bless you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Also, I made the connection earlier, but both of y'all are guitar players.
Yeah.
I think y'all both talked about it a little bit, but you know, maybe there's a little doot, a little wet. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I love that. So, wait. I'm sorry. We were talking about what the city needs to do to support more.
Yeah, my answer more so puts the responsibility on the artist, because I spent a lot of time frustrated with what everybody else wasn't doing, and it just didn't serve me. So I could run a list down of things that I wish Detroit would do for R&B, but what I had to do is accept that the internet is the marketplace where you sell your music. Yeah. Social media is. Show yourself up. Show yourself there every single day. Get over yourself. You are not too good. Your music is not so otherworldly that you don't have to share it. You don't have to put it out. Like, I'm a true art kid, like English major. So I think that I'm a writer, and my writing is so profound that, you know, I don't have to have high volume content. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
You do. And I also felt like there were certain shows, oh no, they won't understand my music, so I'm not going to play. So I led my career in a very antisocial way, not realizing that I was doing that. And I thought I was doing it to honor how good it was and not cast my pearls before swine. But it's a really messed up mentality to have, I realized. And so I think what made the difference for me this year particularly is just accepting that this social media thing, this is a software you must learn. Get good at it. Figure out what people like from you. Like I was spending money on like music videos with different outfits and scenes, and I'm like, they don't really like this. They're not actually engaging with this. I've simplified things to where now I have too much to post. Me last year doesn't know this person. And I'm also making less money. I'm streaming less. I have less opportunities. I have a smaller team then because of the things that I wouldn't accept about what I had to do. So I think sometimes R&B artists, we need to keep our creativity where it is, but move like a rapper.
Yeah. No, that's right.
And also your content has been on point. I see the grind. I see the hustle. I know how much of a hustle that is to be so consistent and to like stay on top of it so that, you know, you can build and grow. And you have been doing an incredible job.
Thank you.
I think going off of what you said about what R&B artists can do is having the records. And a big part of it is why people can support you and why you're growing is because Cruel is an amazing record.
Thank you.
And people can fuck with it. You know what I mean? Whether you listen to just hip hop or not, you know what I mean? Like, actually, I showed one of my homegirls. You were on a podcast and you were talking about how the record came about and, you know, the concept behind it and what you were going through. Yeah. And I showed her that video first, and then I played the record. She's like, yeah, send me that. Because because she's my friend, I know she would identify with that. You know what I mean? And feeling that same way, and she's felt that same way. Yeah. And your transparency and your honesty and your songwriting has always been incredible. Thank you. Because I know Mr. Time, I can still listen to that right now. Jam. Thank you. That whole record is incredible and was severely underrated.
It came out in February 2020, so strange things were going on around that time. But
I don't think it's over for that record though.
People say that. I think you're right.
It doesn't have to be.
It's gonna flood TV and film.
There's no
potential
reason why
for
it has
sure.
To sink down to the ground.
Yeah, sink down.
And I mean like Issa Rae sink down tight. We ain't talking about no shade, but bigger markets.
Yeah.
For real.
Please,
I receive that.
work those records.
Yeah.
And you know, like I just saw a video about Billie Eilish. Like she on her new album, she has a song that she wrote when she was 14.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as artists, we move on so fast from stuff.
We move on too fast.
Preach to me, because that's my problem.
Believe in your record enough to just get stuck on it. I'll post a reel and be like, oh, well, it only got this many likes or this many views. But if one more person discovered me and they're going to stick with me, it's worth it. Yeah. I put Cruel out in February, took it down because we realized we put it out prematurely, did this whole marketing campaign around basically ghosting the listeners, just like I was ghosted in the song.
That was incredible as well.
It was brilliant.
It worked
out because it wasn't planned. We were just kind of like, well, what do we do?
It worked to me.
Yeah. Put it back out in April. My plan at the top of this year was to release a song every month. I'm like, no, I'm going to show people I can put music out. I can, because I haven't put a lot of music out. So I felt like I had so much to prove. Like I have songs and I can put them out. But then it was like, wait. You can't move on from Cruel this fast. You can't assume that when you dropped it and you pushed it for 2 weeks, then everybody heard it. Like, why are you that entitled? Push the song for 1.5 years if you got to.
Please.
That's how it goes.
And that's what I'm going to do. It's not to say I won't drop other projects and other singles, but I'm not going to stop pushing this one song until it breaks, because I believe it can.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? God might have brought me here today to hear
come on.
because, and not to be like super into church.
No.
Yeah, you know,
We here.
but I don't really have, like, I got my people around me. I got a lot of dope creatives, but me being so young, I don't really have somebody on my team that can guide me.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of the thinking by myself. And at the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm dropping a song a month. It's all on my page. I'm dropping a song a month. And I have 1,000 songs.
Did you do it? Were you able to do it?
I was doing them, and then I stopped because I was like, okay, let me make it make sense, because I'm dropping them, and then what am I doing? I'm going to the next song. That doesn't make sense.
And then by the time you put it out, you got to get to the next
song.
It's
and it's like,
overwhelming.
so, and I have a song, and a lot of my songs, I take pride in making my, like, what I write and how I deliver it. I feel like that's jazz.
Yeah.
You're going to get that from me every time. And that's a good thing for other artists to hear, is that don't let go of it.
Yeah.
It's the song that you dropped 2 years ago. Somebody gonna hear it, and just because you might not have the right opportunity to put in the right place, or you might not have marketed as well, you keep doing it. The person, I seen a picture of the dude, y'all might not have seen it. He was axing in the tunnels, and the one guy stopped, but if he kept going, you would hit the diamonds, and that's
literally. Cruel was played on 105.9, or was it 102.7? I'm sorry, it's the whiskey. One of those. But 9 p.m. on Father's Day. That's like a major radio slot for this song to be played. The day before, I told my boyfriend, like, kind of getting tired of Cruel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know when it's going to go to the next level. It's growing legs every time you put something toward it. So I had to tell myself, like, you get to change your mind. You don't have to prove to anybody that you have 12 songs that you can drop every month. Like, it's not sustainable. It's exhausting. And it doesn't give those songs what they deserve. So
good.
Give yourself a chance. All right, R&B artists. I'm not gonna say we can't, but we tend not to produce as quickly as rap artists do and have such high outputs. So as much time and effort that it takes. You all right?
sorry.
That's why I get for giving y'all a plastic cup. As much time and effort as it takes for you to develop a song, to write it, to record it, to get it mixed, to get it mastered, you should at minimum be giving yourself the same number of months or whatever it is that it takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll spend a year recording a song or perfecting it or whatever happened in the tuck, and then we want to spend 2 weeks pushing it.
And you may not be able to produce music at the high volume of a hip hop artist, but you can make content.
Absolutely.
You can take your phone out, put it on cinematic, and just walk down the street and perform your lyrics and put the captions on, and that's your post for the day. Like, you can, but I think we have such an obsession with quality control that it's like, this not good enough, so I'm just not gonna do anything. You gotta get over
Push
that.
past your traumas.
Yes, it be trauma. Go to therapy. That's what I would tell R&B artists. Go to therapy and figure out what trauma you have that is keeping you from betting on yourself relentlessly. Go do that for real.
I got really I shouldn't say that, but I developed a following online.
No, you got popular. Talk that shit. You got popular. It's all right. It's all right.
But I grew a following because of the content I was doing. I was trying to find something that's like, okay, what can I talk about all the time that I wouldn't mind posting about every single day? It's music, you know? So I did a bunch of music history content, and I wanted to up the quality. I wanted it to be better. And nobody cared. And those posts did terrible. I sat in front of a camera. Well, you know what? I did it myself. You know what I mean? So I'm editing myself. I'm coloring it. I'm doing all this stuff myself. And nobody cared. They want to see me on my phone in front of a green screen. That's where the attraction is.
That's why I get on the internet,
you know?
dry face, flakes in my hair. It might be something in my teeth, because authenticity is what sells.
And we're looking for the magic of the moment. There's a TikTok of you and Samaje, and y'all, you discovered a run. It hit you. And then you busted out laughing after you did it. I'm like,
no, that happens.
I'm like, oh, that's how inspiration works. Like, I know why she laughing, because that's like an out of body experience.
That part.
I don't care that it's like a recording of y'all on
looking a mess, but
or something. I think it's the magic of the creativity, and it don't always have to be polished.
And it resonates with everybody, because most people are just regular old people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This has been amazing.
Oh, man.
I want to talk so much more. So listen, this has been the State of Detroit R&B. We are here to carry on the legacy and let y'all know that R&B is around. It is alive, specifically in Detroit. And I want to shout out my guests. Thank you so much, Jahz Watts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anesha Birchett-Moody. Thank you so much, Charity.
Thank you for
I
having
am
me.
JEREL. And I don't know if there's going to be a next one, but we're going to see y'all around. You know what I mean?
Started something now, so
You might have to.
We'll see y'all. Peace.
Please.